Good morning, everyone. It is with great excitement that we have all gathered today here to discuss Project Maracana, which hopes to be and promises to be one of the most important projects that our company will undertake, hopefully within the next couple of years. I've already spoken to some of you already personally about this project, but I wanted to make sure we all were gathered today here. We have our CEO, our CFO, and other key important members of our company to discuss the implications and the new exciting project that this promises to be. So really quickly, for our colleagues in Brazil who I believe have dialed in already to this presentation, so that in order they can be updated and be aware of what's happening, we have with us today here in Chile Luis Fernando Romero, who is the Chief Executive Officer of CMPC. We have Felipe Diaz, our Chief Operating Officer. I believe on the line we have Julia Mani, who's our Chief Representative of Brazil. We have Carlos Pareja here with us in Chile, who is our Chief Strategist. Víctor Guaidó, who's the Director of Operations for Brazil, who has flown in specifically today to discuss this purpose. Jaime Piz, who is our Chief Financial Officer, and myself, Tomás Jativa, who is the head of CMPC Industries. I just want to really quickly make sure that our colleagues in Brazil can hear us. Can you hear us over there? Okay, perfect. We will continue with our presentation then. So, just to give a little background of Project Maracana and what this means for us. So, we have recently posted and released our financial statements for the year 2018. As many of you are aware of, this has been a record-breaking year in many different aspects, and we're very proud of the results we have achieved this year. In 2018, we had revenues of over $5 billion, which represented a growth of over 22% from last year. This growth has mainly been the result of higher production in our facilities, as well as higher pulp and paper prices worldwide, which have translated into higher prices in our domestic market in Chile and the markets we operate across Latin America, and for our export products that mainly go to Asia. We have achieved a lot higher operational efficiencies in the sense that we have improved EBITDA. Our EBITDA margin currently stands at 25%, an increase from 23% last year. This has been mainly, again, the result of higher international pulp paper prices, but also because of our new cash control and cash saving initiatives that have allowed us to be not only more efficient in our delivery, but in our supply as well. Our logistics were a lot better this year, and our transportation methods have proven to be less costly in the new methods that we've implemented. In terms of volumes, we are also excited to announce that we have increased volume production this year, and we have had record utilization rates, which is something that we should be proud of, given that we're using our assets to their best potential interest in the best potential way that they can be used at. During the year, we had an average of 90% utilization rates, which compares to 86% last year. This has mainly been the result, of course, of higher demand worldwide that we've been able to capture and capitalize on and increase our revenues as a result. From the financial perspective, we have also been we have made great strides in reducing our financial leverage. Right now, our debt to EBITDA stands at 2.6 times compared to 5.4 times last year. We have prepaid over $600 million in debt this year, and we have maintained for the 6th consecutive year our investment grade status. We are ranked BBB- at the moment by S&P and BBA3 by Moody's. Just quickly, just to go over some of our industry results and what has happened in the industry this past year, we have seen favorable pulp and paper price dynamics. There's been higher prices in our softwood and hardwood production. This comprises our two main target markets. So, as a result, we have seen higher prices for tissue paper, toilet paper, and cardboard boxes, which is the three segments we specialize in. There have been increases in all those three lines, and as such, we have been able to increase our revenues and increase our margins. Going forward, we do expect and anticipate higher demand. This specifically will come from China. Higher demand is expected in Latin America because naturally we are growing economies, and growing incomes will lead to higher demand for these products. China specifically has announced greater regulation for their own pulp and paper producers, and as a result, consumers, given the higher prices in China, are starting to look elsewhere and have sought out Latin America as key target clients for them to import their products. Also, it is worth mentioning that during the year, many of you here on this call and here in person are aware of the impact and the consolidation of the merger between Suzano and Fibria, which used to be the two largest individually pulp and paper companies in the world, and now have merged into one entity, creating one of the largest companies in the world. Obviously, this has direct implications on us, as Suzano is one of the largest pulp and paper producers in the world, and obviously their impact and whatever they do will have an important effect on our operations and how we are able to compete or not compete with some of our other regional peers. With that in mind, we have, in line with our Chief Strategy Officer, Carlos Pareja, designed a couple of key points that we would like to look at and consider for this project, which we will be shortly announcing. Given that we have posted very positive financial results this year, we have been able to deleverage our company. We are seeking new opportunities, and we have identified specifically a new opportunity. In this process, we are looking for such thing as increasing our capital expenditure budget, or increasing our mergers and acquisition activity to look for possible partners to acquire in Brazil and Mexico as well. We have also considered the construction of new mills and new production mills, which is something that we will go into more detail as I anticipated in the email I sent prior to this presentation. All this strategy is in line with creating new value and maintaining our investment grade status. Of course, that is very important to us, and we are able to raise debt, raise our funds at a cheaper level because specifically of this. And another thing, of course, that is very important to us that we always keep in mind in all things related to this company is our sustainability and our corporate responsibility. We have to be aware that our operations have an environmental impact, and anything that we do must be respectful towards their community and towards their environment. With this, I bring you specifically Project Maracana. What is Project Maracana? Well, as you may know already, and of course our peers and our colleagues in Brazil will further develop this because they've been looking at this more specifically themselves. Project Maracana is the construction of a new mill plant in the Minas Gerais region in Brazil. This is something we have discussed in length with many senior people on this team, many people who are seated today in this meeting, and we have finally decided that we're going to go through with the construction of a new 600,000 ton pulp mill facility, which will be completed by 2023. At the moment, we are one of the largest producers of pulp and paper in the world, with an installed capacity of 4.1 million tons of pulp per year. Given the merger of Suzano Fibria, as I mentioned in the previous couple slides, we have fallen behind significantly in their rating, but we are still within the top 3 most important producers in terms of installed capacity. What does Project Maracana mean for us? Well, Project Maracana means for us, apart from the 600,000 tons of capacity that we will add, which will bring us to around 4.7 million tons per year, it has the great potential to boost our revenues by 15% and our EBITDA by over 3%. The total cost of the whole project is expected to be around $1.8 billion, which will be financed through different portions of debt and equity, which our CFO will later discuss in this meeting. The project consists of 3 facility lines, 2 generators, and will include 1 energy plant at the proper mill station, which will generate approximately 20 megawatts per year, which we'll be able to sell to the grid and actually which also gives us another stream of income from this project. We have our team in Brazil has met and discussed with all contractors, with all builders, and we have found that we have enlisted Odebrecht as the builder, as the key target people to help us build this project. We will pass it on now to our team in Brazil, Juliana Mani, who is the chief representative, who will help us more explain the construction, explain the launch of this, and why we are so happy to have this here. I thank you for your time, and we all look forward to the launch of this great project. Thank you.